Right now, right now. 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 Oh, I got a real good feeling.
We try to bring you high-quality educational and informational content every single day. Why do you think the price is having such an anemic time? The news story of the hour. Jump onto the chart. Is this the beginning of a massive financial unraveling? We gotta add a little addendum to the show map today, and so we start here on the daily. Now, we've been looking at the RSI on Bitcoin's daily chart for the last several days. It always has been, but it's been increasing over the last 50 years since the government has been Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and welcome back to Coffee and Crypto Live. This is your week daily morning show where we bring you the latest and everything Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And in today's episode, we are going to be talking about a massive bull flag that is forming right now on the Bitcoin hourly chart. That's right, if we go up, we're looking at Lambos, and if we go down, well, you better put that McDonald's hat back on because Bitcoin might crash down to 90. Now, that's what the meme says, but is that true? No, I think whether or not we break to the upside or crash to the downside, Bitcoin is about to see a massive rally, but it's kind of the difference between teleporting to $120,000 or spending a few more months in correction before we end up rallying to $120,000. Today, we're going to be analyzing both scenarios, looking at which one is most likely so that we can be best informed about one thing. One thing. You know how simple it is to succeed in Bitcoin? Like, you watch this show every day, and I keep telling you to do one thing. Not 5 things, not 10 things, not 20 things, not 1,000 things, so you have to buy my $997 course per month. No, one thing. One simple thing. Acquire Bitcoin on a daily basis with the expectation that you're not going to touch it for at least 10 to 15 years. Do it. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but this is exactly what we do. We accumulate cash and we accumulate Bitcoin on a daily basis. And when Bitcoin is going on discount, we deploy the cash. When Bitcoin is at a very, very high, the RSI is very high, we've just gone through a big rally, we're on the Lux Algo reversal zones, then most of the money that we're putting in every day goes into cash. When we're up, you build the cash position, and you build a little bit of Bitcoin. When we're down, we deploy the cash position, and we put that on top of the Bitcoin that we're DCAing. It really is that simple. And you say, I want to get to 1 Bitcoin. I want to get to half a Bitcoin. I want to get to 5 Bitcoin. I want to get to 10 Bitcoin. If you're Sailor, you want to get to 1 million Bitcoin. Whatever it is very simple. So where Bitcoin goes from this pattern gives us 2 options. Either we drop and we deploy more cash, or we rally and we scale back on the investment a little bit because RSI will be getting very high and Bitcoin will be getting very overextended, signaling that a correction off of 120 down to maybe 100 might be happening soon. So we're going to analyze that. Welcome to the stream. If you're new here, my name is Jeb McAfee. My dream in life is to help you understand how to succeed financially. I want you to receive the blessing of financial independence, financial freedom, through what we teach, which is called financial sovereignty. In other words, I want to teach you to control your money rather than it and those that give you your money at your job to control you. I want to teach you to be able to walk into your boss's office and say, you have not been treating me right, deuces. I want you to have the freedom to say, I have a paid for home and I've got a couple $1 million in investments because I've been wise. Because I've sought wisdom, I've done wisdom, and now you're reaping the blessing of wisdom. I want to teach you to put seeds in the ground that you will harvest 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now. Because that crop that you want to harvest is not going to be there if you don't plant it. The cavalry is not coming. You're not going to win the lottery. The government is not going to make you rich. If you want to succeed in life, it's something that you have to do. And the way that you're going to succeed in life is first by being a good student and learning how. And then, and only then, you might have the blessing of being a teacher who can pass on that information. Today, we're going to talk about where Bitcoin is going, what we should be doing about it, and welcome to the stream. Let's read a little bit of chat, and then we'll dive right on into it. Abraham Lee is in chat. Happy Mac is in chat. chat. Kryptoni's in chat. Christopher Ryan's, Crypto Surge, Linda Bella Beauty Salon, Philly Skills 1428, Paul Torelli, Called Out, RJ, Alex, Coin Operator in chat. Juan Hernandez is in chat. Micah Mann, Queen's in chat. Fresh Breezy, Rick's Shack said, Jeb back into house. Hello. Good morning. Wandering Droplet is in chat. Crypto Cousins is in chat, said, welcome back. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. It's good to be back. Guys, make sure to smash that like button if you are looking forward to today's content. It tells YouTube to push this stream in the YouTube algorithm, and the reason that we want YouTube to do that is because we want more people to hear the message of financial sovereignty. Let's dive right on into it. Bitcoin is currently trading at $103,600. Let's start with some perspective. When I got into the tell me in chat, what month of what year did you get into crypto? What month, what year did you join the cryptocurrency space? In chat, we're going to go and look at some historical context here. Real quick, we're not going to take too long on this because we want to get to today, but I'll show you where Bitcoin was when I got into the space. I joined the cryptocurrency space July 31st. CoinMarketCap takes a historical snapshot every 7 days. So this is the day before I got into Bitcoin. This is what the market looked like the day before I got into Bitcoin. So basically the day I got into Bitcoin. Bitcoin's trading at $45 billion market cap. There's only 16 million Bitcoin in supply. We've got 20 and some change million in supply now. The price was $2,700. Ethereum was $197. XRP was 16 cents. Litecoin was $40. NEM was number 5. Who remembers NEM? If you've been here for less than half a decade, you have no idea what NEM even is. ETH Classic is here. The hard fork had already occurred by this time. It is trading at 13 bucks. Dash is one of the largest cryptocurrencies in the cryptocurrency space, and one of the most popular things you can do is run a Dash masternode. Who knows what a Dash masternode is? Like, my goodness, my old age is showing in crypto. IOTA's in, sitting at a quarter in the top 10. Monero is number 9. Stratus is number 10. EOS is number 11. BitConnect is number 12. NEO is number 13. Most of you guys have no idea what any of these cryptocurrencies are, and that's okay. This is what we're coming from. Back to today, Bitcoin moves $2,700 like it's nothing. Back then, we had a $45 billion market cap. Today, we have a $2 trillion market cap. I just want to, before we get into the technical analysis, I want to run you through some of the calculations that I've been looking at. I will go ahead and show you this. Let's pull this up. This is something that I've been doing a lot of analysis with lately, is making accurate, as close to accurate forecasts as I can about where Bitcoin's going. So let's talk about that. Where's Bitcoin going? You know, we invest in the stock market and we say, okay, we expect an 8% annualized return. Given the last 30 years, the United States S&P 500 before inflation has returned about 10.02%. Accounting for inflation is 7.5%, 8%. Right? What is the last 10-year return on Bitcoin? The last 10-year return on Bitcoin, annualized, average annualized return is 81.7%. In the last decade, Bitcoin has returned 39,219%. That is a 392x in a decade. Over the last 5 years, because of course we know that there are diminishing returns, Bitcoin can't rally 392x every decade, or within a decade, it would be worth more than the entire global economy by an order of magnitude. So it's not going to happen again. But what are we expecting? Again, the entire strategy with crypto. You can do DeFi, you can do lending, you can do NFTs, you can do artwork, you can do all of this stuff. But it all comes back to one strategy. Stack sats. So if we're going to stack sats, where are the sats going to be? What's the return we're looking at? In the last 10 years, we've had 81.7%. Last 5 years, the average annualized return has been 60%. In the last 5 years, and this is the first piece of data I want to point out, in the last 5 years, Bitcoin has 10x'd. That comes out to a 60% average annualized return, and we can see that on our chart. 5 years ago, Bitcoin was trading. Let's just go to exactly 5 years ago. Let's find it here. 5 years ago, May 16th, 2020, was right there. Bitcoin was trading at about $9,000. We have rallied a little over 1,000% in 5 years. So spend a couple more minutes. Where is Bitcoin going? If we're going to buy Bitcoin, we want to know what kind of return we're expecting so we can calculate our future value and we can calculate whether or not it's a good idea. Newsflash, it is. If Bitcoin in the last 5 years has 10x'd, I think that there is every possible reason to believe that in the next 10 years, Bitcoin will 5x. Here's my rationale for that. Excuse me, in the next 10 years, we will 10x. Of course, we have diminishing returns. Of course, we have diminishing returns. We have to. We cannot go up forever. Right now, Bitcoin makes up 2% of global supply. Of the value of global investable assets. We've got about a $2 trillion market. Investable assets globally total about $150 to $200 trillion. We're sitting at about 1 to 2%. Gold is sitting at about 10%. Here's another chart that might be interesting to you. Let me pull this up. This is on ingoldwetrust.report, which is funny because it's actually a good chart for showing why Bitcoin is going to succeed. This is the market cap of gold over the last 12 years as compared with the market cap of Bitcoin over the last 12 years. Of course, you can see here that, 12 years ago, Bitcoin's market cap, in 2013, Bitcoin's market cap was $1 billion. Gold was $8 billion. Huge gap, right? I mean, not even close. 8,000x. The size. But you can see down here, now I'm colorblind, it's hard for me to see, but you guys can probably see it a little bit better. You can see Bitcoin kind of starting to creep up here. Well, wait a second. If gold's market cap right now is $23 trillion, and 12 years ago it was $8 trillion, that's darn near a 3x in approximately 12 years. It's about a 2.5x in 12 years. That looks like a doubling every 10 years. It's currently 2025. In 2015, gold's market cap was $6 trillion. It is now $23 trillion. That's actually closer to a 4x, but let's just say gold's market cap doubles. Let's say gold's market cap doubles by 2035. We're looking at a 2035 price target right now. It doubles by 2035. It will almost certainly do that. Gold will almost certainly be at $6,000 an ounce, at least, unless Bitcoin starts eating up all the supply and gold just stops being an investable asset that people invest in anymore. On its current growth trajectory, gold will probably be worth $46 trillion. And Bitcoin, as we can see, is continuing to close the gap. Bitcoin is gaining on gold. And you can also see this general trend of gold and of Bitcoin ever since the COVID-19 pandemic indicates that people do not want to invest as much in real estate. They do not want to invest as much in equities. They want to invest in hard, tangible assets that have low or no inflation. You can see right here in 2019, gold was sitting less than $10 trillion. It has more than doubled in 7 years, and Bitcoin has 10x'd in 7 years because people are tired of equities. They're tired of bonds. They're tired of anything to do with the fiat economy because it's unstable. Jerome Powell just came out yesterday saying that we're going to have to rethink Target 2. Target 2% inflation. What's it going to be now? 2.5%? We're just going to creep on up and allow even more inflation every single year, so we lose 99.9% of the dollar every century instead of 99%. Where is gold going to be in 10 years? I would say at least $46 trillion, and Bitcoin's gap is closing. For Bitcoin to go to $1 million by 2035, gold will most likely be at a nearly $50 trillion market cap. For Bitcoin to hit $1 million by 2035, in the context of a $50 trillion gold, Bitcoin to hit $1 million would only have to beat $20 trillion, which means a decade from now, for Bitcoin to be 40% of gold's market cap. We're not even talking flipping gold here. We're not even talking being half as valuable as gold here. For it to be 40% the market cap of gold, you have a $1 million Bitcoin in 2035. Our official prediction is a $1 million Bitcoin by 2035 and a $10 million Bitcoin by 2050. I can go into more details about why all that is in future content. Right now, I'm focusing on 2035, and I want to show you what that looks like. If you go to a compound interest calculator for some quick, dirty, back-of-the-napkin kind of math, just to get a continual average growth rate. This is not exact, and obviously it can't be exact because we have bull markets, bear markets. But if you come to a continual average growth calculator, say Bitcoin's current price is $103,800. We've got, give or take, about 10 years to reach 2035. We contribute nothing because we're actually working on this. How do we get this number down here to, say, $1 million in 10 years? Well, we need to put in, if I recall correctly, it's about a 23% CAGR. For Bitcoin to only be worth... 23%. For Bitcoin to only be worth 40% of gold's future market cap in 2035, you would be witnessing a 23% average growth over the next 10 years. The last 5 years have returned a 60% growth. That is a threefold decrease. Bitcoin's at $1 million, and it's only 40% of the market cap of gold. What you have here, therefore, is a slightly conservative estimate for Bitcoin's future value in a decade, and it's a 10x. The last time that you saw a 10x in S&P, and again, we're going to get onto the shorter term technicals here. This is something I've been thinking about a lot lately, and I want to inform you on it too. For you to get a 10x in the S&P 500, you would have had to invest for 30 years. We're at 590 right now. When the S&P 500 was at 59, was 30 years ago. People say, Jeb, I don't have 10 years to wait. I do financial coaching with you guys. I know some of you guys you want to be retired in 5, 10, 15 years. Like, Jeb, I can't wait 10 years. Some of you are 65. You want to be retired in 2 years. I get it. Don't complain about Bitcoin then. It's the faster horse. Don't complain that Bitcoin isn't a fast enough horse. It's the fastest horse. If you want to do this, then bet on the fastest horse. Make no mistake, we buy equities. We buy the United States S&P 500. We buy U.S. stocks. We're theoretically invested in real estate because we own our home, right? But I put 80% of our investable cash into Bitcoin. We do it every day, and then we put lump sums in when the market looks favorable. Because I do genuinely believe, I am genuinely crazy enough to believe that Bitcoin is going to hit $1 million a coin by 2035. And the reason that I'm genuinely crazy enough to think that is because I have personally watched Bitcoin 40x in 7 years. $2,700 to 109. That's a 38.5x return. I've watched it. I have lived it. I'm the old geezer. I'm the old dude in crypto. I've been here for longer than almost any of the other YouTubers on the platform. Almost every single one of the people you watch also. And I have a world of respect for all of them. I know all of them. I've been here for longer than most of them. I've watched it happen. Bitcoin's the fastest horse, and I bet on it. I put my money where my mouth is. You can ask my wife. We put a lot of money into Bitcoin, guys. So what's the point here? The point is that we've got to start with the end in mind. We've got to establish the vision. We've got to figure out where we're going. I believe, conservatively, we will see at minimum a 23% continual average growth rate in Bitcoin over the next decade. That is 3x what you're going to get in the stock market. Now, the stock market may grow a little bit faster because there's a lot of inflation going on globally, but a $1 million Bitcoin is almost certainly priced in. That should inform what we're doing today. Let's read a little bit of chat. Someone said I'm a boomer. Let's read a little bit of chat, and then we're going to talk about the charts. Just smash the like button, Wandering Droplet said. Thank you so much. Good morning, Jeb. God bless you and your family. God bless you as well. Smash those likes. Hashtag FinSov. Don't get milked. Get out of debt. Get out of debt. You're getting milked. What's your milked ratio? How much of your money are you giving to the stupid banks? How much money? How much of your money are you giving to the stupid banks? Especially on this high interest crap. I mean, some of you guys have a bunch of credit card debt. You got an auto loan. My goodness, you're drowning in student loans, and you thought that they were going to get forgiven. You got gypped. They never got forgiven. They were never going to get forgiven. Government ain't got no money either. They're in debt too. They need the money. You want to talk about a loan shark? The federal government comes and says, you owe us $1 trillion. Pay up, or we're going to garnish your wages. And you did take out the loan, so get out of debt. Get out of debt, especially the higher interest debt. Jeb, did you hear about the Ramsey show recommending holding some Bitcoin? I actually saw that before that went viral. Yeah, I saw that. It wasn't actually Dave Ramsey. People keep thinking that Dave Ramsey said that. He didn't say that. Oh, gosh, not John Deloney. What's the guy's name? Sweetie, help me out. What's his name? What's his name? What's his name? Somebody help me out in the chat. The other guy the other guy, George Camel was there, and he was roasting Bitcoin, which is surprising because it kind of sounds like he's a Bitcoin investor, to be honest with you. But the other guy, it'll come to me. Anyway, he was talking about how Bitcoin should be considered a part of a diversified portfolio, but it is very, very risky. I agree. Bitcoin should be part of a diversified portfolio. It could be 80% of your portfolio. Stocks could be 10% of your portfolio, and your home equity could be 10% of your portfolio. Not George Camel. Not John Deloney. What's the other guy's name? Ken Coleman. Ken Coleman said it. That's who it was. He was the guy. He's the guy. Dave Ramsey has gotten a little bit more loose on his stance on Bitcoin over the last few years, but my goodness, I want the guy to come around. Come on, Dave. I know you're a billionaire and you don't need Bitcoin, but we're not all billionaires. We don't want to make 8% in the stock market and lose 8% on inflation. Come on. I do think Dave Ramsey's going to flip the switch. And when he does, that dude is the largest financial commentator in the country. When he flips, it's going to be big news. It'll probably help the price in the long run. It really will. Because a lot of the people that are against Bitcoin because people like Dave don't like it. Dave is what we call a middle to late adopter. He is going to adopt Bitcoin eventually, but it's going to take a while. The borrower is slave to the lender. That's right. Dave Ramsey's right on a lot of things. He's wrong on Bitcoin. Love Dave Ramsey. He's wrong on Bitcoin. There is no second best. Bitcoin is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's right. All right, let's talk about the actual market because we've got a very interesting pattern going on here in the short term, which will inform our trades and our investments. This show is a great home for you, whether you're a trader or an investor. I am personally an investor because I believe you're going to have better returns by simply buying and holding. But some of you guys make a lot of money trading. The pattern that we're looking at right now is a very simple symmetrical triangle formation, which actually is more of an extrapolation of a diamond pattern. If you guys are familiar with technical analysis, you will know that this pattern is very bullish. This pattern, it looks like, what hotel brand is that? It looks like that hotel logo, right? We've been staying in a lot of hotels, doing a lot of traveling lately. It looks like a diamond pattern like this. And this is something that we've seen before. Let's look at some historical context for patterns like this, and then let's also look at some historical context for what Bitcoin does in these situations. So we have a diamond pattern, for example, over here. It's not the cleanest of them, but it is a diamond pattern. We'll look for some better ones. There's a diamond pattern right here when Bitcoin was trading at $70,000. Don't you wish we could go back to 70? I remember when we were at 70, people were saying, people were like, I don't want to buy at 70. And people would post on X, and I told you, like, it's going to go up to 100, and you're going to wish you could buy at 70. And then guess what? That happened. Right now, we're saying it's going to go to 140, and you're going to wish you could have bought at 104. And people are saying, no, the price is too high. You're not going to care whether you bought at 93 or 103. What you're going to care is that you bought. Make a daily habit. Off topic again, because I just want to hammer it home. Just, goodness gracious, buy Bitcoin. All right. Let's see. Some other diamond patterns. Here's one. This is a big one. Right after the announcement of the BlackRock ETF, we had a big diamond pattern right here. Before and after, during. This diamond pattern, not quite as beautiful, but it's a continuation pattern. The point here is that diamond patterns are typically continuation of trend patterns, and that's what we have right now. We have a diamond pattern forming. Now, there is a piece of opposing technical analysis to that, and that is the simple fact that Bitcoin has gone through a major rally over the last month and a half. Ever since April the 7th, we have seen a rally on Bitcoin totaling more than 40%. It has been a meteoric rally. Those of you that are like us and you bought down at 75, 76, 77, 80, 83, 85, 84, 87, 88, 90, 91, 92, 93, and all those other prices in between like we have and like many of you guys have, will realize that we've gone through a major rally. And we are naturally pushing very high on the RSI. If you look on the RSI here, we're not as high as we've been in previous rallies, but we're getting there. We're getting close. What this tells us is that if Bitcoin does pump here above 104, there's probably room for one last major rally before we see a correction. So good, we have some news. Either one, we're about to go through some correction here, back down to 92, maybe back down to 87, and then we will break to the upside with confidence with an inverse head and shoulders pattern in tow that once again gives us a price target approaching $135,000 to $165,000. That would be a phenomenal thing. Would be an inverse head and shoulders pattern forming here. Or we just break out straight away, rally up to probably $120,000 to $125,000. After that, a back test to 109 is extraordinarily likely, and then we would continue rallying once again up to $105,000 to $160,000. Sorry, $150,000 to $160,000. So Jeb, which is it? And how do you know that we're about to go into this major rally? Well, let's start with the technicals, then we'll talk about the fundamentals, then we'll draw a conclusion of where we're going. Technically speaking, first. I think I said that right. We're going to do technicals first. I'm not sure if I said we were going to do technicals or fundamentals first, but we're going to do technicals first. Technically speaking, There are a multitude of reasons. Starting out on the weekly chart, we have an extremely bullish lineup of indicators. Starting out with our very own Crypto Jeb oscillator. If you guys don't know, we built an oscillator in partnership with LuxAlgo. You can check the link in the description box down below to find that. We have a bullish cross coming in on LuxAlgo, on the Crypto Jeb oscillator here. This is a bullish momentum oscillator, bullish and bearish momentum oscillator. It tells us when the bulls or the bears are switching in or out of control. And right now we have a bullish cross coming here, which means the bears have given up control. The bulls are gaining control on the weekly chart. It makes sense that that's happening right about now because we're about to break $109,000. I mean, the bull market, the rally was not over here when we hit 74,000. No, we were only about half of the way done. We had rallied $25,000, and after we broke $75,000, we ended up rallying $35,000. So more of the rally was above the local level of resistance than below. So that's why you're having things like daily, weekly chart MACD come in right now with a bullish cross. Looking at the history, the historicity, as we call it, of the MACD, you can see every time this bull market that we've seen a weekly chart MACD cross, we have seen an enormous rally. We saw a bullish MACD cross back over here. This bull market probably would have started a few months earlier, if not for the downfall of FTX. FTX just almost made it, but not quite. We saw FTX collapse, and then we went on a rally. We saw the bullish MACD cross here, went on a rally. Bullish MACD cross here, went on a rally. We've seen 3 major market cycles so far in this bull market, and the 4th one is beginning right now. And we can see that because of the Crypto Jeb oscillator and also because of the MACD. And we also see something similar coming on RSI. If we go ahead and remove these indicators and we look at the point in time that Bitcoin confidently broke above the 14 interval moving average on the weekly chart, you will see that we just did it. These vertical lines will no doubt show us the beginning of the bull markets, of the rallies in this bull market. And we see one forming right now. So while it is tempting to believe that a drop down to 92 is going to happen, there's a lot of technical reason to believe that it might not, that it very well just may not happen. And the reason for that is simply because Bitcoin has gone through market cycles like this before, and it only stands to reason that we're going to see a very similar kind of event take place. Okay, it stands to reason that we're going to see a big rally. Now, if we look at LuxAlgo, it's a very similar story. The buy signals on LuxAlgo are beautiful. We can just kind of delete all of our drawings here for a second. Our buy signals so far in this cycle have been on point. When we have a buy signal that is confirmed, we've always seen a major rally. We have the confirmed buy signal here. We have the confirmed buy signal here. We have the confirmed buy signal here. This buy signal was not confirmed by Trendcatcher. It wasn't. It was a non-confirmal buy signal. Did not count. This buy signal is confirmed by Trendcatcher. In other words, LuxAlgo has perfectly called every single rally so far this cycle in advance. As far as we had it happen right here, after the signal, we went 160%. Here, after the signal, we went 60%. Here, after the signal, we went 20%. Take the worst case scenario of that. After the signal, we go 20% here. We rally to $125,000. Take the median of that. We rally 50%. We rally to $158,000. A major rally on Bitcoin is coming. We will close this year having, at some point, have traded at least once above $150,000 and probably significantly higher. This summer is going to be a wild ride for Bitcoin indeed. All of that weekly chart analysis helps to inform our daily chart analysis, which naturally becomes a lot more sophisticated. We have a similar buy signal that came in here. We hit the trend catcher green right here. We rallied up and we're touching the bottom of the reversal zone. But if you'll notice, during our last rallies, in the first phase of the rally, see that? In the first phases of the rally, the opening shots of the rally were touching the bottom of the reversal zone on LuxAlgo here. Do you see how powerful LuxAlgo is? Do you see how important of an indicator it is to our analysis? Make sure to sign up with the link in the description box or with coupon code JEB, J-E-B-B, for a big % off at checkout. We highly recommend LuxAlgo. We've been using them for over half a decade. I am personal friends with the founder of LuxAlgo, and he's a fan of the channel. So go check out LuxAlgo. Links down below. In the opening shots of these rallies, we're touching the bottom of the reversal zone up here. You see that? When we look at this rally right here, we're looking at touching the bottom, not the top, the bottom of that rally. Of that, excuse me, not of that rally, of the reversal zone. Later on into the rally, we're touching the tops of the reversal zone. Right? Later in the rally, we're touching the tops of the reversal zone. We go into blow off top territory. We had already rallied in the last market, for example, in the last bullish cycle, for example, 40% by the time this was happening. You'd think to yourself, 40%, we're already done. We can't go any higher than that. We've already rallied 40% in this cycle. And we're only barely touching the bottoms. We're only barely touching the bottoms of that reversal zone right now. So what does that mean? What that tells us is that Bitcoin is nowhere near done. It tells us that Bitcoin is not finished yet with this rally. It tells us that there is more gas in the tank. It tells us that we're probably going to be seeing a considerably higher Bitcoin rally taking place. And so what I want you to focus on right now is the fact that this rally is nowhere near done, and I want you to focus on the concept that we have a lot more room to run. All right, let's go ahead and read a little bit of chat. I really appreciate all of you guys for being here. Kevin said good morning. Eric said good morning. Omnom said is in chat. Welcome back, Jeb. God bless. Indeed. Jeb is phenomenal at research and essential. Thank you so much. Promises made, promises kept. Let's see. If I had listened to Dave Ramsey, yeah, Dave Ramsey's right on a lot of things. Not right on everything. He's been wrong on Bitcoin. I've said that from the very beginning. All right. Let's see. The billionaires are billionaires for the stocks of their companies. Yep. Dave Ramsey is the latest adopter. He is the original too late. Yep. It's going to happen. Yep. It's going to happen. All right. So that's the short-term technicals. Let's talk about the fundamentals. Why fundamentally do we believe that Bitcoin is going to rally to these prices? Does it even make sense for Bitcoin to go to $150,000? That would be a $3 trillion market capitalization after all, Jeb. I think it does. Let's run through a few of the different reasons. Number one, you're about to see nation-state adoption. We're already seeing state adoption. We've seen a kind of Bitcoin strategic reserve passed in Arizona. The two actual strategic Bitcoin reserves have been shot down, but that's not going to last for long. New Hampshire was the first state on, I think it was the 6th, was about 10, 11 days ago, to pass a strategic Bitcoin reserve at the state level. Now that that has been passed, there is now legal precedent, is the term. There is now legal precedent for a strategic Bitcoin reserve at the state level. So we are seeing U.S. states adopt Bitcoin. We also just saw a report yesterday that the Central Bank of Abu Dhabi, extremely wealthy. I mean, you're talking oil money out the wazoo. These are people that are looking for a way to diversify out of oil as the United States and as the world moves more towards renewables. Not so much away from oil, but as the growth in the oil sector slows down, right? The Emirates, UAE, Abu Dhabi, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, all these different oil-rich nations are looking for ways to diversify out of just oil, which is why they've diversified into finance. That's why they've diversified into massive real estate projects. They've diversified into tourism, into luxury, all of this. And they're trying to diversify out of oil and oil stocks. They don't want all their wealth locked up in, for example, Saudi Aramco. They want some of it locked up somewhere else. So it's not surprising that we saw the Emirates Abu Dhabi buy $511 million worth of Bitcoin ETF in their sovereign wealth fund. That is a nation state. That's not a state in the Union of the United States. That is a nation state adopting Bitcoin. Big, 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 big deal. All right. What else? We also have the United States, which is most likely going to be adopting Bitcoin. Think about this for a second. You've got Eric Trump, the son of the President of the United States, telling us that that the United States will soon be buying 1 million Bitcoin. You have Cynthia Lummis telling us that the bill for the strategic Bitcoin reserve is soon going to be passed. You also have dozens of other members of Congress saying that it's going to be passed. The people closest to the decision makers are telling us the decisions that the decision makers are going to make. Maybe we should listen to them. They have this thing that we call insider information, and they're sharing it with us. And we're not listening. Why are we not listening? McFly? Hello? What's with the life preserver, dude? You're not listening. The people closest to the president, the executive branch, and the people that are in Congress closest to the the legislative branch, are telling us that a million Bitcoin is going to be acquired by the United States federal government soon. Talk about a supply shock. There's $150 trillion of investable assets in the United States, over $300 trillion of liabilities. And you mean to tell me that people are not going to take out debt to buy Bitcoin hand over foot? Should they do that? Probably not. Are they going to? Oh, hell yeah. $2 trillion is the beginning. Going from $2 trillion to $3 trillion when the global economy is valued at over $250 billion. Nothing. Blip on the radar. $50,000 addition to Bitcoin, nothing. We will be doing $50,000 a week or a day in the future. There will come a day where Bitcoin's daily price action is tens of thousands of dollars in either direction, and it's not even news. Why do I believe that? Because there have probably, although I haven't counted, there have probably been at least 15 times this year that Bitcoin has rallied at least $3,000 in a day. And it's nice, but it's not that crazy. When I got into Bitcoin, $3,000 was the all-time high. Now, it's a whole lot of nothing. Every single one of these candlesticks, this larger than this one, this candlestick is $6,000 tall. Every single candlestick that's larger than this one is over $100 billion of movement in a day. $1 trillion of movement in a day is coming. It's not here yet. It won't be here this decade. Might be in 2029 or 2030 or 2029, I guess. But in the opening years of the next decade, you are going to see $1 trillion market cap movements on a daily basis. Bitcoin going to $150,000 is nothing. And frankly, it is shocking that it hasn't happened yet, considering the amount of investment that has taken place recently. You've got 21, raised $700 million to buy Bitcoin, I think it was. Michael Saylor is in a panic because now everybody's copying him with the Bitcoin treasury companies. There's like 20 of them that have just come out, like Nakamoto, 21. There's a bunch of different banks. I mean, JP Morgan Chase just disclosed that they're holding Bitcoin now. The largest bank on the planet has disclosed that they own Bitcoin. We're talking about fundamental reasons why Bitcoin's going to $1 million in 2035 and why $150,000 is very much written in. Fidelity, second largest asset manager on the planet. They've got $10 trillion in assets under management. Your 401k, your Roth IRA is probably with them. One of their representatives went out on stage a week ago and said, if your company cannot achieve a 65% return on capital every year, just buy Bitcoin. In other words, don't even bother expanding your business operations. Just put all new growth into being a Bitcoin treasury company. Do you have any idea how hard it is for an established business to get a 65% return on capital? There are some sectors where you can do that. A lot of them you can't. A lot of them you're lucky to get 5, 10, 20%. You're lucky if your company is growing faster than the stock market. And a lot of them aren't. If you can't get a 65% return on capital, don't even bother. Just buy Bitcoin. Can you feel the suction, the gravity, the reality that Bitcoin is here to stay is pulling on everything? It's pulling on companies. Oh, why expand business operations when I could just buy Bitcoin? It's pulling on universities. Oh, why go to university when I could just buy Bitcoin? It's pulling on politics. Oh, we're going to lose the election because of a lot of things, but we also didn't support Bitcoin. It's the financial singularity, and it's here, and it's not going anywhere. Will there be a bear market? Yep. And everybody's going to say it's dead. And those of you that understand what's really going on here will realize that those people that say that Bitcoin is dead in 2 years when we're in a bear market are simply too foolish to learn their lesson that Bitcoin is not going anywhere but up when you zoom out. When Bitcoin drops 65% in the next bear market and we drop off of 250 down to 125 and everybody's pitching a hissy fit, or 100, whatever, 300 to 125, whatever, something like that, and everybody's pitching a hissy fit, you and me will both be here acquiring Bitcoin because we know where we're going. We know where this train leads. It leads to replacing gold, and by the time we get there, gold's going to be worth over $50 trillion, which puts Bitcoin at $2.5 million to $3 million a coin. We have seen a 30x happen, and we know this is going to take twice as long the next time, but we know in 10 to 15 years, another 30x is coming. By 2040, I expect Bitcoin to be trading at $3 to $5 million. By 2045, I expect Bitcoin to be trading between $5 and $10 million. Strategy's prediction, Michael Saylor's prediction, is $13 million by 2045. That's a little bit aggressive, but honestly, it is possible. It is genuinely possible. Every Bitcoin that you don't buy is going to cost you a minimum of $1 million by the time 2035 rolls around. That's only 10 years from now. Every single one of you is more than 10 years old, so every single one of you knows what 10 years feels like. It's not that long. It's not that long. It's really not. 10 years ago was 2015. It's not that long ago. 10 years ago, Donald Trump got elected. It's not that long ago, right? Well, 9 years ago. It's not that long. That's not the only thing, though. There's three major players. The CIO of Bitwise said this, and I love what he said. There's three major players. Sovereign funds, so strategic Bitcoin reserves at the state and national level that are buying Bitcoin. You have companies that are buying Bitcoin, hand over foot. Hand over foot. They're buying an enormous amount of Bitcoin. Strategy alone has acquired more Bitcoin in the last year than the Bitcoin network mined. One entity has acquired more Bitcoin in the last 12 months than the Bitcoin network mined in the last 12 months. Supply shock loading. You've heard that. The third entity, first, sovereign wealth funds, strategic Bitcoin reserves. Second, treasury companies. Third are the ETFs. BlackRock ETFs in 1 year. BlackRock's ETF launched about 14 months ago. In 14 months, they hold 600,000 Bitcoin. 600,000 Bitcoin. And that's just the beginning. Those three right there. We're not even talking retail, because unfortunately, retail continually misses the boat, continually will not listen to wisdom, continually stays broke because they continue to believe that the Beamer is more valuable than Bitcoin. Retail is not even part of the equation, because unfortunately, retail has given up a lot of their Bitcoin to the institutions over the last 5 months since the year began. Those three entities, sovereign wealth funds, such as strategic Bitcoin reserves, Bitcoin companies, and the Bitcoin ETFs, which a lot of that is retail, not all of it, but some of it's retail, people buying it in their retirement accounts, are going to drive Bitcoin through the moon. We have seen those three entities acquire over 1 million Bitcoin in the last 14 months. When you put them all together, that is not going to stop anytime soon. And the vast majority of that is going to be held for decades, which means it is effectively out of circulation. That's amazing. One last tidbit of information I want to share with you. Market capitalization of Bitcoin is calculated off of circulating supply, which is not really fair because circulating supply of Bitcoin is not actually $19.86 million. If you factor in just the Bitcoin that's been lost, circulating supply is actually more like 16 million Bitcoin. If you take the price of Bitcoin and you multiply it by the actual circulating supply, when you factor in Bitcoin that has been lost and is irrecoverable because it's in a wallet that nobody can get to. I mean, for example, Satoshi's $200 billion worth of Bitcoin, $100 billion worth of Bitcoin, 5% of the total supply is inaccessible. But we factor it into the market cap anyway. It's $100 billion in market cap that is not actually part of the network. When you remove the Bitcoin that's not accessible, Bitcoin's market cap is not actually $2 trillion. It's more like 1.5. Which makes it a lot easier for Bitcoin to go to $1 million because you actually don't need a $20 trillion market cap. You actually only need a $15 trillion market cap. This is an inflated number. That's not the actual number. This is a false number because you've lost 3 to 4 million Bitcoin already. It's already gone. So you actually only need a $14 to $16 trillion market cap for each $1 million of price. The price is actually even easier to move than you're being told it is. You can get Bitcoin to $1 million a coin with $15 to $16 trillion, not $20 trillion. It's coming. If I've not convinced you, I'm not sure I can. I hope that you understand the future of Bitcoin is extremely bright. This is your last opportunity the next few years, because the bear market might bring us back down to this level. We'll see. And if it does, then great. You might have one more opportunity. These are some of your last opportunities to get Bitcoin below $150,000. But if you think that you're going to buy Bitcoin today and you're going to be rich tomorrow, my friend, what you were looking for is impossible, because Bitcoin over 13 of the last 15 years is the best performing asset. You're not going to beat Bitcoin. You might think you can, but statistically, you're not going to. Statistically, screwing around with altcoins and trading, you might beat Bitcoin. You might. Maybe. Just maybe. But are you going to buy the shadow? Or are you going to buy the giant that casts the shadow? We put money into Bitcoin every single day, and then we put cash on top of it when the market drops. We have different goals. We say we want to get to this many Bitcoin, this many Bitcoin, this many Bitcoin, this many Bitcoin. And we acquire it on a consistent basis. Get Bitcoin. It's valuable. And more importantly than getting Bitcoin, get the wisdom that will teach you how to get the Bitcoin. Because wisdom is even more valuable than gold, silver, and Bitcoin. Let's read a little bit of chat, and then we're going to wrap it out. I really appreciate all of you guys for being here today. Thank you so much. Lion Daddy in chat said, missed you, brother. Missed you, too. Good morning. Watch diamonds and gold value decline in the future, not only because people will shift to Bitcoin, but because diamonds and gold can be created in a lab. Diamonds can be created in a lab. Gold being created in a lab is a myth. Kind of. It's a half-truth. Gold transmutation is not possible except for in a supermassive, in a large Hadron Collider. The Large Hadron Collider at CERN can create gold. Atoms of gold. Like trillionths of an ounce of gold. Pennies of gold. Gold cannot be created through Large Hadron colliding in any recoverable amount. It is happening at a physics level, at an atomic physics level. It's not happening at a production level. That being said, more gold mines are opening every single year. Because of the advancements that SpaceX has made in the next 30 years, you are going to see space-based mining. I would bet $1 million on it. Within 30 years, you will see space-based mining on asteroids, on the moon, and on Mars. And the amount of gold in all of those celestial bodies is absolutely enormous. By the end of this century, investing in gold will be about as silly of an idea as parking your horse in your driveway. It's a dumb idea. It's not a smart idea. By the end of this century, if Christ allows the world and the universe to continue that long, you will have bases on the moon and on Mars that are financial hubs that route Bitcoin traffic through. And investing in gold will be a hilarious idea because gold will be so plentiful that you'll wipe your butt with it. Gold has just now reachieved the same price that it was before the discovery of the Americas. After the discovery of the Americas, the value of gold dropped by 95% because of the massive glut in supply. And when we become a more celestial civilization, Elon Musk and SpaceX are taking us there, you will have space-based and especially asteroid-based mining going on for platinum, iridium, gold, iron, you name it. And within a decade, the supply of gold will more than double. The global supply of gold will probably more than double at that point in time. Gold is a very dumb investment. It's better than it's better than the dollar. That's all you can buy. It's better than the dollar, but it is becoming an unwise investment because it has been replaced. I cannot stress this enough. Bitcoin does gold better than gold, and that's okay. If you enjoyed today's stream, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Make sure to do one thing for me. It's going to help you. It's going to help us. Sign up for Lux Algo. Links in the description box down below. Lux Algo, for the last 5 years, we started using Lux Algo way back over here in 2020. Lux Algo has done a phenomenal job of calling uptrends and downtrends on Bitcoin for almost a decade. Lux Algo single-handedly reversed the stigma in the industry against paid oscillators and paid indicators. Before Lux Algo, the idea of a paid indicator was taboo because most of them were scams and they didn't do anything right. Lux Algo came along and nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. I know the founder of Lux Algo, and I know the chief engineer over there that works on the algorithms. They're ridiculously wicked smart individuals. Lux Algo is the best technical indicator on the market, bar none. If you sign up with the link in the description box down below, not only will you be getting access to the best indicator on the market with a massive discount, a lot of indicators in this package, you'll also be helping to support the channel. So sign up today with the link down below or by going to luxalgo.com/Jeb or by using Jeb, J-E-B-B, as a coupon code at checkout. That's the best way to do it. Jeb at checkout, coupon code. Can't fly to other planets and find more Bitcoin, eh? Exactly. Gold is literally shooting out of a volcano daily in Antarctica. That might be a little bit hard to harvest, but... Jeb, good morning, brother. My prayers are still ongoing for you and your family. God's love be with you, brother. Glad to see you back online. I'm hoping to be back around more next week. Awesome. Thank you so much. Satoshi planted Bitcoin wallets on asteroids. Asteroid mining will be the downfall of gold. It will be. Gold will go up in value until then. After we start mining asteroids, gold's done. Don't believe me? It already happened one time. They sailed across the ocean blue, found so much freaking gold that the price of gold right now is the same price that it was in the late 1560s, or 1560s, I think it was. The price of gold crashed 95%. That can't happen to Bitcoin. All right. Love you guys. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, sign up for Lux Algo. Before I go, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.